Who was Charles Dickens, and why is he still remembered today? Charles John Huffam Dickens, a name that would one day become synonymous with classic literature, was born on a winter's day, February 7, 1812, in the coastal city of Portsmouth, England. He was the second of 8 children in a family that knew all too well the harsh realities of poverty. Despite their financial struggles, Dickens's early years were filled with a certain kind of joy and exploration, particularly during the family's time in Kent. But life took a drastic turn when they moved to Camden Town, a poor neighborhood in London. Their financial situation worsened, and Dickens's father was eventually imprisoned for debt. This cast a long, dark shadow on young Dickens' life. Aged just 12, Dickens was forced to leave school and work at a boot-blacking factory to support his family, an experience that would heavily influence his future writing. Following his father's release from prison, Dickens returned to school and began his journey into the literary world. His education at the Wellington House Academy in Camden Town was haphazard. Despite this, a spark ignited within Dickens. He threw himself into his studies, reading everything he could get his hands on, from Shakespeare to the works of contemporary authors. Upon leaving school, Dickens took on an array of jobs. He worked as a clerk in a law office, learnt shorthand, and became a court reporter. These experiences provided a unique insight into the lives of working-class Londoners, a theme that would later permeate his writings. His first foray into the world of writing was as a freelance reporter, covering parliamentary debates and writing sketches for various newspapers and magazines. This was the springboard for his illustrious career, leading to his first serial, The Pickwick Papers. Despite his humble beginnings, Dickens was making his mark in the world of literature. Charles Dickens wasn't just a novelist, he was a force of nature, whose works have left an indelible mark on literature and society. Let's start with Oliver Twist, Dickens' second novel, published in serial form between 1837 and 1839. This tale of an orphan boy's journey from workhouse to the seedy underworld of London was revolutionary in its depiction of the grim reality of urban poverty, crime, and child labor. Dickens's sharply drawn characters, like the cunning Fagin and the tragic Nancy, brought to life the harsh conditions of the underprivileged, challenging societal indifference. Then we have A Christmas Carol, a novella published in 1843. This story of the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge's transformation after visits from the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come, has become synonymous with the spirit of Christmas. Beyond the festive cheer, Dickens used this work to critique the social inequality and lack of compassion prevalent in Victorian society. Great Expectations, published between 1860 and 1861, is another masterpiece that explores themes of wealth, class, love, and morality. Through the protagonist Pip's journey from a blacksmith's apprentice to a gentleman, Dickens questions the true nature of gentility and the illusion of social mobility. Dickens's unique narrative style, replete with vivid descriptions, biting satire, and a dash of sentimentality, brought these stories alive, creating a world that readers could immerse themselves in. His novels were not just entertaining tales, they were a mirror held up to society, revealing its flaws and urging reform. His works spurred societal change, highlighting issues such as child labor, the conditions of the working class, and the inadequacies of the poor law. He gave the marginalized a voice, and through his compelling storytelling, made the privileged take notice. Dickens's novels, filled with vivid characters and intricate plots, became classics, loved by readers then and now. His legacy is not just in the stories he told, but in the societal change his works inspired, proving literature's power to influence and transform society. Even in his later years, Dickens's pen never rested. He continued to weave stories that captivated audiences and challenged societal norms. His later works, including the renowned A Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectations, further cemented his reputation as a master storyteller. Dickens also embarked on reading tours, sharing his stories far and wide, his words bridging oceans and cultures. But his tireless efforts took a toll on his health. Despite deteriorating health, Dickens remained committed to his craft until the very end. He was working on his 15th novel, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, at the time of his death. The book remained unfinished, a poignant symbol of a life dedicated to storytelling. Charles Dickens passed away on June 9, 1870, but his words and stories live on, reminding us of the power of literature to shed light on social issues and inspire change. His legacy continues to resonate, his tales still captivating readers over a century and a half later.